This is 2025, and wigs are getting pulled off, and games are getting paused, folks. That's where we're at. Welcome back to the show. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to it. First topic, Trump hilariously roasted Joe Biden after being asked about hitting the first tee shot at a new golf course. Roll the clip.
Did you get to see my drive in the first hole?
You hit it straight pretty hard.
I did. Pretty long. Pretty long. That's no Joe Biden, let me tell you. That's not Biden, right? That was a good drive.
You gotta love how the guy will take any chance he gets to completely slam Biden. And that's basically his MO these days. If he gets a chance to roast Biden, Obama, Hillary, Rosie O'Donnell, he takes it, right? But you're gonna get the people out there who just can't stand it and think it's not presidential for him to go out there and do that type of thing. Remember back in the day how like the narrative was he's not presidential, right? What does that even mean anymore? You know, as far as I'm concerned, this is the new wave of presidential, right? A guy who can relate to the people, says funny things, is a witty guy that people just love to hear what he's going to say next, right? Did you really care to know what Biden was going to say next, or even Obama? You knew what you were getting from Obama, the cookie cutter. Oh, yeah, let's work. And you knew what, I mean, if you did want to hear what Biden said, you knew you were going to get some sort of big flub, and it was probably going to be something crazy. So maybe you did want to hear what Biden said. But see, this is the new presidential in 2025, right? Calling people out that need to be called out, witty comments, just blasting former presidents, anybody who really gets in the guy's way. Because, see, he's asserting his dominance and showing, yeah, I'm the alpha here. You basically do what I say, and I'm the guy in charge, you know? So I don't blame him for doing it. Frankly, I love it, and I want to see more of it, and that's what I voted for. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. So popular fitness influencer Joey Swoll bended the knee to the woke outrage mob. Go ahead, roll the clip.
I owe my followers, my community, and all of social media an apology. A few days ago, I reposted an old video of me in the gym wearing a Hulk Hogan Halloween costume on the day that he passed. Last night in my live stream, a lot of people expressed how upset and frustrated they were with me that I had posted that. Instead of listening and understanding like I should have, I became defensive and said that I was posting to celebrate the wrestling icon, the person that so many of us looked up to as kids that we grew up with, that made us tear our shirts and take our vitamins and say our prayers. I didn't know to the extent of all the horrible things that he had done. Since last night, I have done a lot of research, talked to a few people, and learned all of the horrible, horrible things that that man has done, which is way more than just making a mistake and being human. So because of that, I have taken the videos down, and I apologize to anybody that I offended. I am sorry. Also, during last night's live stream, I used the word colored instead of saying person of color, which is a very outdated, very offensive term. A few moments later, somebody educated me and told me that it wasn't okay to use that, which I immediately apologized to everyone and said I would never do that again. So once again, to anybody that I offended, I am sorry. You know, my whole page, my whole brand is based on holding people accountable and doing better. I would be a hypocrite if I didn't hold myself to the same standards. I am human, I am still growing, I am still learning, and I promise all of you, I will do better. I have nothing but love and kindness in my heart. I will continue to try to make the world a better place. And once again, to everybody, I apologize.
Don't people know in 2025 now that you never bend the knee to the outrage mob, and that's basically the worst thing you could ever do for your career? Now, apparently that the text on the side there was talking about how he's completely done and he doesn't want to do this anymore and, you know, he's over it. Listen, man, when you bend the knee to the outrage mob like this, see, you apologize. Why? What are you apologizing for, dude? You put a post out there honoring Hulk Hogan, somebody you were a huge fan of, and now that some people online are outraged over Hulk Hogan and what he may have said or done 10, 15 years ago, now you got to adhere to that? Why are you going to let those people's outrage dictate what you're outraged about, right? And whenever you do this and you apologize, all you do is just piss off the people who are like your biggest fans, right? And you appease nobody, right? Because the outrage mob, they're not looking for an apology. An apology does absolutely nothing. All it really does to them is just, oh, we got him. We got him, guys. He's willing to bend the knee to us, and he's willing to apologize, and we could basically control the guy. And then you don't win any of those fans, and then you just lose fans that are like, oh my God, how could he have done that? He took that post down, and it was a great post, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just, all you're gonna do is ruin your credibility and just ruin everything you got going when you apologize to the outrage mob. And you know what you need to do? If you say you do something like, oh yeah, I posted a Hulk Hogan tribute, and some people in the comments are coming at me like, did you hear what he said? I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn, because if you say that, what can they really do after that? Oh, did you hear he said? Oh, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. So what are you going to do now that I don't give a damn? You're going to call me a racist? You're going to call me blah, 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 whatever you're trying to push, whatever type of fake woke narrative you're trying to push? No. All you got to do is say, I don't give a damn, because that's the most powerful thing you can say to the outrage mob that's trying to get you to apologize and adhere to whatever they want you to adhere to, because there's nothing that can be done after you say that, right? It's like, okay, well, we can't get him to bend the knee to us, so I guess we're probably just going to have to go find a new target. But when you do what Joey Swoll did and you bend the knee, and now all of a sudden you appease nobody and you make it about, oh God, it was, oh, I'm sorry I said that. Oh, and I even said colored. Bro, you know what people get mad over and outrage over these days? Any little mention of any sort of race, blah, 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 that isn't, completely praising of that race is going to get the outrage mob to come after you. And whatever you do, you never bend the knee and you never apologize. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. So the White House put out this complete banger of a post to promote their CBP Home App to help people self-deport. Go ahead, roll the clip.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. But now, with Jet2 holidays.
What a banger. The White House might be one of the best follows on social media these days. You see, Trump's a guy who needs a great social media team who puts out bangers like this and is just witty and hilarious, since he's a witty and hilarious guy. It's great that this type of thing's going on. See, the White House is actually being transparent and doing things you want to hear and you want to see. Back in the Biden era, the only thing you'd ever get is like posts about how it's, trans day of visibility and blah, blah, that type of crap, Trump's White House, you get just complete bangers of posts. They're hilarious and it's really everything you want out of a White House, Don't give me this BS of, oh, I want my White House to be so kosher of everything. No, you want, anytime you get a chance to have a Trump type White House where, they're releasing bangers and they're being completely transparent about majority of things. But listen, I get it, the Epstein files. Remember, I think he's cooking there. There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, and it takes a lot of time to get a big case and, bring evidence and blah, blah, blah. Let the guy cook. But other than that, you got to admit the guy is his White House and him and his administration, they've had very few L's. The only L has been the Epstein rollout. Let's be real. But yeah, as far as this, just hilarious. And this is what I want to see out of my White House. This is what I voted for. And I want to see them acknowledging that, yeah, we're taking care of what you voted for. We're doing exactly what you voted for. And we're giving you what you wanted. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So the WNBA had to have a game paused because a player's wig fell off. Go ahead, roll the clip. Did you ever think you'd see a game pause due to a wig falling off? But I mean, hey, this is where we're at in 2025, folks. Wigs are falling off, pausing games. Now, apparently a fan was thrown out due to making a wig joke after the wig fell off. Listen, if you pay money and you're a fan and you pay good money for a ticket to go to a game and get in the door, you're allowed to make wig jokes all you want. You know, if somebody's going to go out there and wear a wig, I mean, that's their problem, right? If, as long as it's not they have some sort of condition where, you know, they have to wear the wig because basically they're bald and they have no hair in general, then, you know, then it's a little insensitive. But if it's just these players trying to look cool with their wigs on, you know, and they happen to get ripped off, and you want to make a wig joke about it, frankly, I have no problem with it. I mean, let me know what you think. Do you think it's insensitive to make a wig joke for a woman who's just trying to use her wig as a style rather than like as some sort of medical device to cover up a bald head? You know, I don't have a problem with it because you sign up for that if you're going to go out there wearing wigs. But yeah, this is just the fact that the game had to be paused and she had to run to the locker room and it was like a big, like, oh my God, a wig, you know, like, this is just the pussification of America, that we're bowing down to people whose wigs are falling off and it's like a big deal. It should have just been a funny incident. She should have been a little bit embarrassed. She should have put her wig back on and called it a day, right? And what are these people doing wearing wigs during games? I mean, it's got to be hot as hell putting a wig, like some huge wig on your head and playing a basketball game, right? I mean, it's counterproductive to what you're trying to do out there and, you know, be sleek and be able to move easily. I mean, I don't think you can really do that with the wig when you're like worried about your wig getting ripped off, right? That's just another thing to worry about in a game that's gonna, you know, cause you to not perform at your best. But this is 2025 and wigs are getting pulled off and games are getting paused, folks. That's where we're at. But all right, be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you.